This is going to be a love reading for Capricorn. What we get from the cards is definitely someone from the past who sees signs around them and elements that are bringing memories back up and that are bringing them back to you. Starting with the first card, the Six of Cups right here, we immediately see how this energy and how this person is coming from the past. The Six of Cups, in fact, always talks about feeling nostalgic, starting to look back at things that are not around us anymore, arriving at the end of the day when everything quiets down, and just finding ourselves thinking about someone who was very important to us and who once really made the difference in our life. And I really believe that at this point, they're running into this situation more and more each day. There is something that is happening around them, some sort of situation that is drastically taking them to a place where they're thinking about all the things that they had with you. And so right here, we might imagine that maybe they break up with their current partner, and overall something must have happened that brought them to what the two of you had together. And not only that, they are learning a lesson at this time. Perhaps the person that they were with, they behaved the same way they behaved with you when this relationship ended. There is some sort of lesson, definitely a karmic lesson, that it's happening at this point. And so not only they're thinking of you because they miss you and because they still do have feelings for you, but also the universe has created the situation around them so that they could go back and revisit certain things on which they didn't have closure yet, or things that karmically they have to fix and take care of. And we see that this is not just them, but it's the universe with the Page of Cups. And to me, this card is really telling us that a wave of emotions, a wave of signs, it's really surrounding this person. And when I say signs, I definitely mean a whole bunch of things around them happening that are all bringing them to you, bringing their memories and their thoughts back to the things that you did together, back to the things that you shared together. Page of Cups can often refer also to arts, music, and what I'm sensing from this card is that they are listening to specific songs that are reminding them of you. Maybe it played on the radio, maybe a friend of theirs started to play this song and you came up in their mind. And that's not it. There's a whole lot of things happening at this point, and all of those elements keep taking them back to you. And they are talking to friends about this. They are trying to get some feedback on this because there are so many coincidences right now that it really seems strange. And also talking about the lessons that they have to learn. With the Temperance card, I believe that we see how they realize the things that they have done wrong. Temperance usually talks about being able to see the truth, being able to see that things are not always black or white. And so if so far they thought that maybe you were wrong about something, or that maybe this situation was just not meant to be because of specific events or details, right now instead they understand that the truth lies in the middle. There is a whole world of things, a whole world of possibilities in between a yes and a no, in between a right and a wrong. And here they are really being able to consider all of those things. And right now they see them all, and they know that they are the key to understand what's happening around them right now, which really feels weird to them. There are way too many things happening that are taking them back to you and to think about you. But whenever they think that they might have to do something about it, maybe contacting you, reaching out, seeing how you're doing, the energy that shows up, it's telling us that that is not going to happen probably for quite a while. In fact, with the Nine of Pentacles, we usually already have an energy that moves very slowly. And when this card is reversed, it's really telling us that not only the situation is barely moving at all, but it's also telling us that there is one specific thing that it's completely blocking the situation. And so what you need to know from this card is that if you are able to identify what this element is, you will have the ability to unblock this and let this energy flow whatever is trying to flow into. And I think that with the Six of Swords, we might see what that element might be. They think that you completely moved on. Six of Swords showing someone who painfully decided to move on from a situation that initially they didn't want to leave, they didn't want to let go. And so they see here that, first of all, they caused you a lot of pain. They know that and they're ashamed of that. And in a way, they feel silly thinking that they can just come back or send you a message after all they have done. But at the same time, they might be seeing you now with someone else, or they might be seeing you online on certain dating apps. And so they think that you don't want them anymore and that you completely moved on from a connection that you once had together. But with this card coming up next, Ace of Wands, we see that the cards are still telling us, keep in mind that this situation still has a lot of potential. There might be something that still has to come out of a reconciliation in between the two of you. And it doesn't have to be going back together. It doesn't have to be going back to love each other. It might just be clarifying things and getting some sort of closure. But most of all, what we see here is that there is still potential, and you have the potential to make the situation whatever you want it to be. But in order to do so, with these two clarifier cards, we see that it's fundamental for the two of you to really decide to focus on the positive things. In case this communication will start again, in case the two of you will start revisiting certain things from the past, do not focus on the things that went wrong. Do not focus too much on the hurt that happened. Instead, right here, we see that you will be given a choice at some point. You will be able to decide in this conversation how to redirect it to a positive place where you will just talk about the good moments and the good that you did for each other, the happiness that you gave to each other, or instead focusing on the dark side of the relationship, which will not serve the purpose that this Ace of Wands right here is bringing to the table. And in order to understand if this conversation will happen, how these energies will evolve, make sure to check out the extended reading link below. And if you want me to do a follow-up reading at the end of the month to see if we have new messages coming in for the situation, make sure to comment #-follow-up down below.